Hey guys, today I'd like to read you a message from the Druthers newspaper as was shown, and it says, "Thank you very much, Justin Trudeau, for all that you've accomplished in the last 4 weeks, which has come at a great sacrifice to yourself and your loved ones. In such a small window, you have managed to provide us with such valuable teachings and outcomes, awakening millions of Canadians and reminding us who we are, inspiring intense feelings of freedom, love, and unity among Canada and the rest of the world, exposing the corruption and the failure of our many institutions, media, politician leaders, healthcare, government, judicial system, education, police force, financially, and our democratic processes, demonstrating how frail our Canadian democracy it actually is and how quickly it can be dissolved and reduced to authoritarianism, exposing external influences or agendas outside of Canada which are compromising our democracy and the rightful power of our people, providing that fear, stress, mandates, and misinformation can easily coerce people to the point of harming themselves physically as well as morally or spiritually through self-compliments against their own personal freedoms, values, and sovereignty. Exposing an elected government that is willing to take away its citizens' abilities to provide for themselves and their families in a coordinated effort to coerce themselves into compliance to unlawful, irrational mandates, revealing the highest hypocrisy, incompetence, and complicity of our government and leaders, reminding us that the people will still follow orders. They are unjust, unmoral, and violent against their own people, despite numerous historical references of such atrocities. Exposing an elected government that can be divisive, vindictive, and violent, and that will openly or publicly persecute, censor, and demonize its own citizens. You did this all willingly and at a grave personal sacrifice, which is why we all owe you a sincere thank you. Here are some of the sacrifices you have made for us. The agony of living with this legacy and all its negative karmic consequences. Irredeemable damage to your character or reputation domestically and internationally. Damage to your family name, ancestors, and all your loved ones. Generational damage to the Liberty Party, our democracy, and the credibility of our own government and institutions. You have done more for us in the last 4 weeks and at a great personal expense. Thank you for your great sacrifice. We send love, the Canadian people. P.S. If you want to help us further, please consider calling an end to the pandemic, lifting all federal COVID mandates, revoking all emergency government powers, conducting a third-party in-depth investigation or hearing of all government decisions or actions during the pandemic, reconcile all damages to Canadians caused by government mandates, scraping the inflation of any globalist agendas, and lastly, cut ties to all external influences on our democracy. P.P.S. An even bigger thank you to all peaceful Canadian protesters and supporters for their courage to stand up through this very dark time in our young history. Please like, share, and subscribe.